Hi guys, I'm back. So I'm Caroline from Saraiva Pilates studio in Montreal, Canada. So here's my second video, which is going to go on for about 20 minutes, and we're going to do a lower body blast. So again, just a few things to remember. To have a mat, you don't need any equipment or any accessories, just a mat. If you don't have a mat, towel or a few towels or a blanket works perfect. And most importantly, listen to your body. If anything does not feel good, just stop, and I will make sure to offer some modifications throughout the workout. So have fun. Okay, so let's begin. We're going to lie flat on our back. And lying flat on your back, let's just try to roll down slowly. All right, so we're going to begin just with a few pelvic tilts. Just let your arms just be heavy by your side. You always want to think of the shoulders, because a lot of us, because of our posture, we tend to want to roll the shoulders in, so just keep them nice and open. Now on the exhale, I want you to flatten like you're doing a pelvic curl without lifting your bum, and then inhale, just release. Exhale, flatten down as you imprint. Inhale, release. And exhale, flatten down. Good. Let's go for about two more. Exhale, flatten. And one more time, exhale, flatten. Now bring your pelvis into a neutral position where you have that natural curve, or I should say natural curves of the spine. You feel your tailbone heavy on the mat. Bring your fingertips inside of the hip bones. Exhale, draw those hip bones closer together, starting engaging those abdominals, and then breathe and release. And as you draw those hip bones closer together, draw the pelvic floor muscles up. And then inhale, release. And exhale. Now I encourage you, because it is only a 20-minute workout, if you want to do a few extra repetitions of certain exercises, I encourage you to do so. And then again. And then exhale. Okay, let's get to it. So from here, try to bring your heels a little closer to your bum. Feet are about hip width apart. And when I say hip width apart, I mean really the width of your hip bones, not the outer parts of your hips. So we're going to go up into a bridge. So exhale, from the pelvic tilt, you start to curl up. And as you start to curl up, reach those knees over the toes. Now, very important, don't let the bum drop, because then you're arching in the lower back. Really squeeze the bum, think abdominals engaged, ribs sinking down. And then on the exhale, as you roll back, keep sending the knees away from you. I love this because it really helps decompress the spine, especially if you're spending a lot of time sitting. And we're going to do that again. Exhale, we're rolling up. Make sure you're pressing both feet solidly into the ground. Again, reach those knees over the toes, squeezing that bum. Exhale, roll all the way down. Now I could do these forever because I love the feeling it gives me for my back, but we do only have 20 minutes. So I'm going to go into a single leg bridge next. I'm going to bring one leg up into a tabletop. Okay. Exhale, I'm going to press into that foot. I'm going to roll up into a bridge. And then I'm going to come all the way down. So I can do about maybe 3-4 of these. Really feeling the work in the back of that left leg. So you could continue with these, but if not, you progress to straightening the leg. And now, flex as you go down, point as you go up. Flex as you go down, point as you go up. Flex as you go down, point as you go up. Now I'm going to do about 5, but you could work up to 8, maybe even 10. And then bend the knee and roll all the way down. Thank God we only have 2 sides, right? So switch to the other leg. Press into the foot. Roll up into a bridge. And then come all the way down. So I did about 3 before on the other side. And then come down. And then lift up. Now from here, stretch that leg. Flex. Point. 4. 3. Are you squeezing your bum? 2. 1. Bend the knee. Bring the foot to the ground. Roll it all the way back. Hug those knees in towards your chest. All right, so that's the first sequence. Now, second exercise, another great one for your hips, for your thighs, are single leg circles. So modification, keep one knee bent. I'm going to go into the more advanced version where my leg is straight. I'm going to take my leg up into a tabletop. Now, if you feel like your hamstrings are really, really tight, like you can't stretch your leg, maybe do a couple stretches before. Okay, now I'm going to, the leg that's on the ground, I want to flex it. And I want to imagine my foot is up against the wall, so my leg is active. I'm going to point my other leg. I'm going to keep my hands on my hips. I'm going to circle in, and I'm going to go around. Now, why do I keep my hands on my hips? Because I want that pelvic stability. Now, if these circles are too big, if your pelvis is rocking all over the place, smaller circles. Or, great modification, bend your leg. And one. Now, you got to go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And release. All right, switch legs. Remember, hands on the hips. Float that leg up. If you need to stretch it, go right ahead. Point the toes and circle in. Remember, you decide how big you want the circle to be. 3, and 4, and 5. Now I'm telling you right now, my left leg is much tighter than my right, so I definitely am struggling to keep my pelvis as stable as possible. 2, and 1, and hug the knees in. All right. Can you roll up to a sitting position? Let's lie on our side now. Okay, so now you're going to lie on your side. You can rest down onto your arm. You can prop yourself up onto the elbow if you've got a ball, if you've got a pillow. I leave it up to you. So let's work lower body. Now, this version is my version. I'm going to keep my bottom leg bent to give me a little more stability. You are welcome to straighten your legs, or you're welcome to do it with both legs bent. So it's up to you. So I'm trying to keep my back as straight as possible. I'm extending my top leg. Now, my hips are stacked. My waist is long, so I don't want to see kind of the waist collapsing down. Okay, I want to imagine that my leg is growing 2 inches, so I can literally touch the wall with my toes. My hand is in front of me for support. Don't let the shoulder roll in. Always focus on your posture, no matter what position you're in. Now, we're going to lift the leg. We're going to go forward. It's called a sweeping point. Just extending so I feel my bum muscle engage. Exhale. Now, if you want to challenge yourself a little more, challenge your core stability, that is, how about you lift your arm up towards the ceiling? That's a great variation. And again. Now I'm going to do 5, but I invite you to work up to 8 or even 10 repetitions. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to point. I'm going to flex. Point, working that outer hip. Are your hips still stacked? They should be. And then I go up. If you want to play around with it, remember, keeping your arm lifted in the air. And again, up. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling the burn. Good. Now I'm going to finish off with some circles. I'm going to go forward, up, and I'm going to go around. I'm really going to challenge that pelvic stability. And point. 2 more. 1 more. Every once in a while, ask yourself, are my abdominals engaged? So I always tell my clients, no matter what position you're working, no matter what muscle group you're working, you could be doing an arm exercise, you could be doing, for example, this, a leg exercise. You always want to bring your attention to your core. I lost count, I'm sorry, I think 1 more. Woo, tap it out. You're probably feeling the burn just about now. I got 1 more variation to do. I love to give this to my clients and they hate me for it. So we're going to do elevated clam. But you can also keep your feet down. Now lift those feet up. Keep the hips stacked. Exhale, open. It is so easy to cheat on this one. Your hip should be square. Do not let that hip roll back. If it helps, by all means, keep your hand on your hip. Ugh. I'm gonna go for 8 on this one. I'm gonna be courageous. Again, oof. 3 more, 2 more, and 1 more. And release. Tap it out. Okay, let's switch over to the other side. So, we're gonna lie on our side. This time I'm gonna actually rest my head down. Bottom leg is bent. Remember, the hips are stacked. The waist is long. So, you ready? We're gonna go forwards, backwards. And 2. Exhale, 3. So when I teach my classes, I always make sure to give a lot of exercises for the lower body, especially for the bum. Because my clients always find it funny when I tell them this. The bum, unfortunately, with time, with age, loses tone. And believe it or not, it becomes lazy and it doesn't work as it should work. And it can cause us a lot of other issues in our lower back, for example. So, and because we sit a lot, we lose the tone. So I always make sure in all my classes to include bum exercises. So from here, what's next? Up, down, lift, and 3. And I'm gonna make sure to count now because I lost count before. 5, point your toes, circle. 1, how about I lift my arm just to test it out? Much more challenging. Remember, it's my left side. 2, and 1. Reverse. We're almost there, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Okay. Last thing, elevated clam, most important. Let's not forget. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, almost there. Ooh, burning. 1, and release. All right, last sequence to the class. We're gonna do some weight bearing. Now, weight bearing, you can do it up on the hands, or if you're more comfortable, please by all means do it down to the elbows. So let's get into what we call quadruped position. I'm gonna do this on my hands, but you're welcome to go down onto your forearms. So let's try to find that neutral position, and I'm gonna ask you guys to spread your fingers nice and wide. Keep the knees under the hips, keep the shoulders over the hands. Neutral when we maintain the natural curves of the spine. Remember what I mentioned before about always being aware of your core. I'm going to start with my right leg. So my left leg is my supporting leg. I'm going to point my toes on this one. The tendency is we're going to want to shift or sink into the hip. Try to keep the hips level and square. Exhale. I'm going to go up. I'm going to go down. It's so easy to cheat on this one because most people are going to want to go up high. Guess what happens to the lower back? We lose control of the core. So don't make the movement so high, but can you feel your bum working? For a lot of people, it's not easy. You got to focus on it. 2, 1. Now from here, bend your leg. Keep those hips square. Flex your foot. Up and down. Ooh, I'm feeling this in my bum. 3. Remember, we're only going to do 5. Now, from here, I'm going to stretch my leg. I'm going to go out, and I'm going to cross over my other leg. Just fun enough to challenge stability. Out, cross, out, cross, one more, out, and cross. This deserves a child's pose. Sit back on your heels, guys. So I'm doing 5 repetitions. You're welcome to work up to 10 repetitions. If you want to add 2 sets, 3 sets, by all means, go right ahead. Let's go back into the same position. Actually, I'm going to turn around so you guys can see better. Take the leg, position yourself, extend it out, point your toes, square those hips, think of the core. Remember, this is my left side, it's my tough side. Think of the bum. 3, 4, 5, flex. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend the leg. Open out, cross. 2. Don't worry, we are going to stretch at the end. 2 and 1. And child's pose again. Okay, last part of the workout, I'm going to do something lying on my stomach. So, remember I mentioned, actually I did mention it in this video, I mentioned it in the previous one. If you have sort of a pronounced lower back curve, I encourage you, especially now that we're going to lie prone, to place a towel underneath your abs just to support the lower back. Okay? So, we're going to lie on our stomachs. I can actually rest my forehead on my hands. I leave it up to you. Whatever is more comfortable for you is fine. Now, can you anchor your pubic bone into the ground? So you don't want to see that bum kind of lifting up to the ceiling. It's not a very attractive position. Okay, I'm going to go with both legs. I'm going to go into a frog. Toes are turned out. Knees are not the width of the mat, just a little bit closer in. Anchoring the pubic bone down. Now, it's going to sound silly, like you're probably going to think I'm not feeling anything, but it's super effective. So exhale, I'm going to squeeze my heels so hard together that I actually feel my bum muscles working. And then I release. Now, are my abs contracted? Yes. It's a great way to fire up the bum. And what you can do, I'm not going to do myself, but you could actually work one bum at the time by squeezing one foot against the opposite heel. From here, option, a little more challenging, exhale. I don't know if you guys see well, but I'm lifting my knees. Holy cow, I'm feeling my bum. Now try to relax the upper body as you're doing this. Let's do 5 extras. I'm feeling confident here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, one last child's pose. And I'm going to give you a super efficient stretch. We're going to do figure 4. So we're going to lie on our backs. I'm going to cross my right foot over my left knee. My foot is flexed. I'm going to pull that left knee in towards the chest. I'm going to take my hands behind my thigh, and I'm in my figure 4. Now, sometimes what I see with clients is that they're kind of lifting their bum. No, I want you to keep your tailbone on the ground. Modification, if you can barely hold on to the leg, how about you keep the foot on the ground? How long should you hold the stretch for? Work up to a minute, minimum 30 seconds. But try to work up to a minute. And then you're going to switch legs. Other foot goes on. I'm going to grab hold of the thigh. But remember, you always have that modification you can do. In. Awesome. Hug my knees in. Roll up. So the 20 minutes is over already. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me for this 20-minute butt burn workout. Again, I'm Caroline from Studio Saraiva Pilates in Montreal, Canada. Thank you, and see you next time.